Hello, welcome. So for those that are joining us live, we were just running a few minutes behind this morning, technical stuff, so I do apologise. And it's lovely to be with you. It's lovely to be sharing a session with you today on EFT tapping for procrastination. So if you are brand new to EFT tapping, you might be wondering, what is it? You might have had a quick search and saw some videos of people tapping, or you might be familiar and have done sessions with me before or done sessions with other people, practitioners. This is a great opportunity to explore this topic for beginners or people that have already experienced EFT. So I will set the scene, I'll explain a little bit about the basics, and we'll do sort of a gentle process together, and we'll also do a little bit of journaling as well. Okay, so my name is Stella, and I'm from Soul Space Unlimited. I do sessions on the virtual ritual quite regularly. I do Qigong, which is mind body practice, it's a breath exercise, and I also do EFT tapping as well as a few other things. And what I have in common is energy. So I'm working a lot with energy moving around the system, and sometimes that can feel a bit woo-woo. We might not really know what that means, but when we think about physics, everything is made up of energy. So we can begin to understand it more on a scientific level. And actually, energy it makes up everything, including our system, our mind, our body. And it also is about emotions. So emotions are energy in motion. And through this session, through EFT tapping, as well as the Qigong sessions, if you participate in those, we are partly getting emotions flowing. And really, there are no good or bad emotions. So any feelings, emotions, and ideas, thoughts, and beliefs that you have about maybe a procrastination habit that comes up for you, or anything else in your life, those emotions aren't good or bad. They're just emotions, they're just energy. So we've been brought up to label emotions as good or bad. For example, we might think happiness and joy are good emotions, and we might have been taught that sort of anger or frustration or embarrassment, or sadness, these are negative, bad emotions. We're all kind of in the same boat with that culturally, but that isn't the case. Through this work, we begin to unravel that and to explore it's all just energy. And when we don't have an attachment to it or a judgment, we can help it to move through the system. Because issues in our life occur, whether it's physical symptoms in our body, symptoms in terms of thoughts, beliefs, moods, different things that keep happening and reoccurring in our life that we just can't seem to get past. I think we've all experienced that sense of being stuck. We're just feeling frustrated or unwell, not in our sort of best healthy body, healthy self. When that's going on, it's because some of that energy has got stuck, has got blocked. So what we're going to do with this is help those energy and emotions gently flow and come up. They become blocked and suppressed because we've been told that they're wrong or they're a bit overwhelming. So we tense up the body and push them down. So you're coming along just for a tapping session today, hopefully with an open mind. That's all I ask. You may have, some skepticism around it, and that's really good. That's healthy. I certainly did when I started tapping, and I think that's absolutely okay. So part of what we're going to do is to help you to release some of the blocks for the procrastination that's coming up for you, whether it's you or perhaps you've got somebody else in mind. And we're going to help you learn some tools for moving energy through. So whilst this is focused on a theme, it's really showing you what is possible and how to be in the body and your life in a different way. Okay. With the EFT, we just want to make sure that we've got a safe, quiet space, hopefully where you won't be disturbed. I know life happens, it's not always possible, but you want to make sure you're nice and comfortable, that you've got everything you need. So water or a drink, a refreshment that's going to help hydrate you is ideal. And pen and paper is really good, or something you can just write notes in. You might use your phone, but writing by hand, if it's possible, is always better. You don't worry if you haven't got that to hand. You can just use your mind and just be present with me. But it can help. We're going to do a little bit of a journaling exercise together. Okay. And just doing a little bit of housekeeping. So whilst we're tapping, sometimes, as I said, it brings up different emotions. You know yourself best. So if you feel at any point overwhelmed, or you feel that it's just a bit too much, you've got different emotions coming up. Firstly, remember not to make that wrong, that's a sign of movement, and that's okay. But also you want to make sure that you are safe. So you don't need to push yourself or to rush anything with the process. If it's all a bit much for you today, you can take a pause. This is the beauty of these sessions. You can watch them back anytime. You can do it in bits. So it's all about making sure that you are safe, that you're well to participate and take part, and seeking a bit more support, professional help if you need it. Okay. So procrastination. For some people, that's a huge, huge thing. And it can feel so frustrating not knowing what's causing it or how to get past it. So what we're going to do today is shine some light and awareness on it a bit more. And if that doesn't come up in the session, you may find it comes up later. That's quite often what happens with EFT. So we'll do a little bit of a journaling exercise, and then we'll go into a bit of grounding before we do some tapping together. All right. So just making sure that you feel grounded for a moment. So if you're seated, just focusing on your body in the chair, your feet on the ground if you can, and they are on the ground, just becoming aware of sounds around you in the room. And try and let go of expectations if you can. Try and let go of an attachment to an outcome for the session if you can. And if you can let go of expectations that you might want a certain a certain outcome that might be really, really high or ambitious. It's okay to have hopes, but we can let go of that a few percent. A few percent is enough. If you attend my sessions, you'll know I say that a lot. Something that I've picked up along the way that really helped me. You don't have to make massive, massive changes in order to feel really significant and sustained transformation in our life. Okay, so I'm going to ask some questions for you to just ponder on for a moment and to journal on. And remember that you can come back to these questions. You can take a moment and come back to the session and watch it back if you want more time with the questions. I will give you a little bit of time. And these questions might be challenging. They might make you feel blank. You might not know the answer. And that's okay, because when we're tapping, we're going to be tapping into the unconscious, and it will potentially bring more awareness up. So you don't need to force anything. You can't get this wrong. Just go with it as much as you can. Okay, so the first question, thinking about this procrastination behavior and pattern and what you're putting off, just bringing that into your mind's eye, your awareness. And there might be an image around it. It might just be a feeling, an idea. It might start bringing up emotions already. Just notice all of that. Become aware of it. We're going to hold all of this with a bit of patience and self-compassion. So the question I want you to write down is, if I finish this project or this thing, whatever it is, if I do this thing, what would be the downside? So thinking about the thing that you're putting off and procrastinating, if you completed it, if you did it, if you achieved it, is there a downside? And initially you might be like, well, no. But actually, when you dig a bit deeper, you may find a new space of, maybe there is. I wonder if there is. So I'm just going to let you write that down. So if I finish this thing, if I do this task or complete this project, what would be the downside? And just take a few moments, or take a nice deep breaths, just to see if anything rises up around that. And in a minute, I'll give you some examples, but I just want to see if you have any aha moments. So an example could be, You've got somebody that is putting off making business cards or finishing their business website. And they know it's important, they need to do it, but they just keep putting it off and they can't seem to move forwards with it. So, in answer to that question, the downside could be they would be seen more, there would be risk of criticism and judgment, or it could be they might become really busy. And maybe, as much as they think they want to be busy, maybe there's a part that has been really busy before and burnt out, for example. That just gives you a bit of an idea, inspiration around some of the unconscious patterns that could be going on for us. Another example, it might be that somebody's putting off applying to a job. So they know they want to shift their career, but they just keep putting it off. It might be that there's a fear of failure. So the downside of completing that task, for example, completing their CV or applying to the jobs or going to like an agency, the downside of that could be that they would actually get the job and then be at risk of doing a bad job or getting it wrong or failing, or maybe getting fired. Maybe they were made redundant or fired in the past. We're so complex, it could be all kinds of things going on. We think it's simple, but it's often not. So just be curious and see if there's anything that's come up for you. And if that question didn't work or it didn't bring up any sort of light for you, then you could reword it. So, what is the upside of my procrastination? So, write down that. What is the upside of my procrastination? And maybe common things that come up around this are the upside of my putting this thing off. Could be staying in my comfort zone. It could be staying safe. It might be avoiding criticism or judgment, similar to that example we just gave. Just see what comes up for you. And it might surprise you and it might scare you. So just be really kind to yourself. Take a breath. And again, remember, if nothing comes up, you're not sure, that's okay too. If you're not sure and there's a blankness and numbness around this, then you could even flip the question and reapproach it, reframe it. You could ask yourself, what's the upside of me not going into this? What's the upside of me not facing my procrastination? We could get curious in that way. Sometimes asking the question is enough. Sometimes we ask a question, we put it out there, and like a boomerang later, awareness and answers come back, and they may not be really obvious, and we might not realize they're connected to this asking the question, like days before, weeks before, hours before. So it's good to be aware of that as well. So just finish noting down anything you want to in your journal, your piece of paper, or in your phone, or just noting it in your mind. And becoming aware of any emotions that have been coming up around this. So if you feel resistance to going into this, note that down. If you feel a bit of tension in your body, maybe your shoulders or your chest, maybe fluttering in your tummy about the idea of doing the task. You might have shame around not being able to complete this task. So just noting whatever comes up, physical sensations, emotions, and note that down as well, making a note. So all of this is going to help you get the most out of our tapping together. So when I lead us through these tapping scripts, these sequences, they're going to be quite general because obviously I'm not working with you one-to-one. I'm doing this as a live open session. But you have the opportunity to make the tapping and the sequence, the words, as specific to you as you can. For example, You can change the words. You don't have to repeat what I say exactly. And you can also focus in on where you hold it in your body and where the emotions are and the exact qualities. So I guide you through this, give you the opportunity to do that. And if you really take the opportunity to do that as much as you can, you're going to get more shifts. It's going to help the energy to move because it's so personal and specific to you. Your mind will be like, yes, that's it. And it will help you release it. Okay. So putting that to aside gently for a moment, we're going to do a grounding exercise together. This is something that you can take into your everyday life and support you to regulate and to relax and to become present, which is always going to be really, really beneficial for your well-being, your mental health, as long as it feels intuitively comfortable for you to do that. We're all different. We all need different things. But for those that are comfortable with a grounding meditation, we're going to begin by just placing our hands on our heart. And we're going to start with some breathing techniques that will help us enter more of a relaxed state. So some of these might feel a bit silly, but just go with it if you can. So the first one is we're going to breathe in through the nose for 4, a count of 4, hold it at the top, and then we're going to exhale for a count of 6. Some people might have a slightly different breath pattern and might exhale for more, like 8. You can do that. I'm just going to do 4 and 6 today. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for a moment. And let it all go as you breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Hopefully you can begin to feel your system letting go and relaxing a bit more. We're going to do another breath exercise. These are great things you can just do really quickly in your daily life. So for this one, I'll show you first. We're going to take 2 inhales, breaths in through the nose, like this. And then just have a nice long breath out. So in the breathing in through the nose, you go almost all the way to the top, and then you go even further. So together now, breathing in. And when you breathe out, really sigh if you can. Let it all go. Let your shoulders go, let your body relax. And again. Okay. So we should begin to feel a bit more relaxed, a bit more stillness in the body. Remember, it's okay if you don't. Whatever's going on for you, just try and trust that that's okay. And if you need a moment, take it. For those that can visualize, we're going to do a real quick visualization just to help ground us a little bit more. So make sure you're nice and comfortable. Keep up the steady breathing. And I want you to invite your body to begin to let go and soften a few percent more. And you can begin to imagine, using your wonderful imagination, imagining some tension, some stagnant energy, some blockages from your body beginning to loosen, beginning to move, ready for the EFT practice so they can just leave your system. Everything's flowing a bit lighter, a bit easier. There's a bit more flexibility in the system. Remembering everything's made up of energy. So maybe it's like a circuit's beginning to come back online. Trusting whatever your mind shows you. And you can imagine that circuit, energy, electricity flowing around your body. And when that electricity, that flowing, when that stream meets a block, I want you to let it begin to erode the block and carry on moving straight on through. And it does this again and again. You might even locate these blocks in certain areas of your body, like the tension around the shoulders, the hips. Just using that wonderful imagination. And imagining that circuit getting brighter and flowing even more easily. And it begins to expand beyond your physical body, around your body, helping to raise your vibration, helping your body become lighter, yet more relaxed, more at ease. Clearing your mind, just retuning, recharging. Nice deep breath. Okay. All right. So we're going to start doing some tapping, and remember to note, keep that note of those things that are specific to you. So with the points, we start on the outside of the hand. It can be either hand, it doesn't matter. And it's the side of the hand with the little finger. And we're just tapping on the side like so. Soften the body as much as you can. And remember to take nice deep breaths throughout the tapping. And also know that when energy moves, you might feel different sensations around the body. And the key is not to hold back, not to hold it in. So if you feel tearful, if you want to laugh, if you need to sneeze or burp, might sound strange, but they're all signs of energy moving. So the key is to let it happen, because that's how you release. And if none of that happens, that's okay too. Okay, so you just repeat after me out loud or in your head, ideally out loud, but whatever feels good for you. Even though I keep putting this thing off, I know that I need to do it, but I just can't get it done. And right now, I'm open to being kind to myself with all of this procrastination. I'm open to being compassionate to myself. Nice deep breath. Even though I keep putting this thing off, I know I need to get it done. I just can't seem to do it. And it makes me feel, how does it make you feel? What were the emotions that came up for you? And where do you feel that in your body? And right now, I'm open to being kind to myself anyway. There's a reason I'm procrastinating. And I'm beginning to understand it more. Nice deep breath. Even though I'm a procrastinator, I keep putting it off. You can be specific about what you're putting off. I just can't get it done. I feel lazy. And it makes me feel, what emotions come up for you around this? Where are they in your body? And right now, I'm open to forgiving myself. I'm open to being kind to myself. Maybe there's a reason I'm putting it off. And I'd like to understand it better. Okay, well done. It's taking a nice deep breath. We're going to just tap the top of the head. So if any of these points aren't possible for you because of limited mobility or health reasons, then that's okay. You still get a benefit from not doing them all. Just do what you can. And it's also great to imagine. The mind is very powerful, especially when we work with energy. So just find what works for you. Okay, nice deep breath. Now we're going to say shorter phrases. So just really focusing in on the procrastination and focusing in on how you feel about it, what's come up around it. So repeat the word procrastination. I'm putting it off. Tapping the inner eyebrows, just where the eyebrows begin. can't get it done. I keep putting this thing off. Outer eyes. I'm procrastinating. I just can't seem to get it done. Under the eyes. Keep breathing nice and deep, softening the body. And I feel useless. Why can't I do it? Under the nose. I'm a procrastinator. I wish that I could get this thing sorted. Under the mouth. But I keep putting it off. I keep procrastinating. Collarbone. And I'm so frustrated with myself. Why am I like this? Why can't I just get it done? So you might need to adjust these words to be more specific to you. Are you frustrated? Are you questioning, why can't you get it done? See what feels right for you. Under the arm, so we're just going to tap on the side. It can be either side. And if you wear a bra, it's just where the bra strap is. Tapping on the side like so. Short distance underneath your armpit. Nice deep breaths. I keep procrastinating. I keep putting this thing off. Tapping across the wrist. So it can be either wrist, it doesn't matter. Just tapping across like so. Why am I procrastinating? I wish I could just get it done. I wonder what that would feel like to have completed the task. Tapping either side of the thumb. But I keep putting it off instead. So we're just tapping on either side of the nail bed where it begins. Next finger, the same, just either side of the nail bed and repeat. I'm a procrastinator. Next finger. I just can't seem to get things done. Next finger. And it's driving me mad. Next finger. I'm open to learning more about why. Okay, take a moment, take a breath. So if you noticed any awarenesses came up for you, note them down or just note them in your mind. You can weave that into the next tapping that we do, or you can just reflect on it later. It might help you move forwards with your sort of challenge around procrastination. If you notice any energy moving around your body or perhaps emotions coming up, so it might have been frustration, it might have been sadness, it might have been embarrassment, whatever it is, notice that. And based on what we explored in the journaling, you might have had other stuff come up around an awareness of what if you do complete the task, what happens then? And we're going to lean into that a little bit now. So taking a nice deep breath, softening the body a few percent. Okay, again, starting on the outside of the hand, we're going to do another setup statement. So the setup statement is balancing kind of like the heaviness, the struggle with self-compassion. So sometimes it can feel like we're focusing on the negative with EFT, and that can freak people out a little bit. But actually what we're doing is we're acknowledging, remember there is no positive or negative emotions, we're acknowledging what's been suppressed and pushed down so it can gently come up and we can be free of it with self-acceptance and compassion. Okay. Keep tapping, keep taking nice deep breaths. Even though I'm procrastinating and I can't do this thing I need to do, I feel paralyzed. I'm so resistant to getting it done. I'm becoming more aware of why I'm not doing it, of the positive of holding on to this behavior. And I choose to be kind to myself. Nice deep breath. Even though I'm procrastinating, and part of me is afraid, replace it for whatever you need to, specific to you. Part of me is afraid that if I did get this thing done, what then? What might happen? And I choose to have compassion for myself anyway. Nice deep breath. Even though I keep procrastinating, I feel paralyzed. I just can't get this thing done. And right now, I'm open and curious to learning more about this and what I might be avoiding, and how this procrastinating behavior might be working in my favor somehow. Nice deep breath. Top of the head. I really want to get this thing done. Inner eyebrows. But maybe part of me doesn't. Outer eyes. Because if all of me wanted to get this thing done, under the eyes, then I would just do it. Under the nose. There must be something blocking me. Some kind of resistance. So at this point, you can picture that circuit around your system. Remember the blockages under the mouth. And you can picture that blockage eroding as you tap. Nice deep breath. Collarbone. So it's this soft spot just under your collarbone on both sides. I keep putting it off. Under the arm. But I really want to get it done. Tapping the wrist. I wonder if that's true. Tapping the thumb. Is there part of me that doesn't want to get this task done? Tapping the finger. And I wonder why that would be. So if you know and you've uncovered some clarity around that, you can say that. Next finger. I'm becoming more aware, next finger, of the benefits of holding on to this behavior. Next finger. Maybe it keeps me safe. Top of the head. Maybe it protects me from being seen, from being criticized. Tapping the eyes. Maybe it protects me from failure. I don't want to feel like a failure. Outer eyes. So again, remember, make it specific to you, whatever your thing is, whatever's coming up. And repeat. I keep procrastinating. Under the eyes. I keep putting this thing off. Under the nose. And I really want to get it sorted. Under the mouth. But maybe part of me doesn't. Collarbone. Because if all of me wanted to get it done, I would have done it by now. Under the arm. So something must be blocking me. Tapping the wrist. And I'm curious about what that is. Tapping the thumb. I'm curious about learning more about that part. Next finger. And I'm learning more right now. Next finger. And I choose to be kind to myself and that part. Next finger. I choose to be understanding and patient. Next finger. As much as I can. Top of the head. Nice deep breath. I really want to get this thing done. Inner eyebrows. But maybe part of me doesn't. Outer eyes. Because I would have done it by now, surely. Under the eyes. And there is something blocking me. And that makes me feel. How does it make you feel to have this block? To not be getting it done? Under the mouth. And I'm open to having compassion for myself. collarbone, so just under both sides. Nice deep breaths. Beginning to understand myself better. And I wonder where this will lead me. Being kinder to myself. Under the arm. Maybe I'll still procrastinate. Tapping across the wrist. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I can make a change. Tapping either side of the thumb. And I wonder what that change could be today. Next finger. This thing I keep putting off. Next finger. I wonder why I do that. Next finger. And I choose to be kind to myself. Next finger. And to accept myself just as I am. Okay, taking a breath. And again, making a note, mental or writing it down, and putting it into your phone, making a note of anything that came up for you. You might have more clarity around it. You might have different emotions coming up. You might have memories or events that come into your mind. They're not random. So it's good to note those down as well. And remember, if you need further support with this, it's something that you can go and find a professional to work with around EFT, or you might, turn to a mental health support line if it's bringing some stuff up for you. So just be really kind to yourself. And if you'd like to go into another round of tapping, we'll do a little bit more. So we'll start with tapping the outside of the hand. Remember, either side is fine, just on the side with a little finger. And repeat. Even though I've been procrastinating and putting this thing off, I'm aware that I have a block. And I wonder if there's one small action that I could take today to help me move forwards. Nice deep breath. Even though I've been procrastinating and I felt so stuck and blocked. Remember, you can list any specific emotions and feelings that come up for you. And right now, I wonder if there's one small step that will help me move forwards today. Nice deep breath. Even though I've been procrastinating and it makes me feel, I know that I've got a block with this and I haven't been able to move through it yet. Right now, I choose to focus on one step, maybe a few steps, that I can take in the coming days and weeks to help me make some progress, to help me move forwards, one step at a time. I don't have to do it all at once. Maybe one step at a time will be just what I need. And I wonder what that would feel like. You could tune into that, even if it's a tiny bit. What would it feel like to take a few steps and to make progress and movement with this issue and this block? Imagine getting the task done, some of it done, all of it done. Imagine that in a sense of lightness. And if you still feel that there's resistance and block around maybe the fear of getting it done, then I would suggest rewatching this and going back to that round we did just now around acknowledging that. Top of the head, nice deep breath. I've been procrastinating. Inner eyebrows. Maybe I've been hard on myself about this. Outer eyes. Like I should be getting it done. Underneath. But for some reason I haven't. Under the nose. I felt lazy. under the mouth. I felt like a failure. So you can replace these with your specific words and feelings. Collarbone. I'm open to being kind to myself. Under the arm, just on the side. And I'm moving in the right direction now. Tapping the wrist. I'm in control. Tapping the thumb. And I choose to move forwards. Next finger, either side of the nail bed. One step at a time. Next finger. I'm doing my best. Next finger. And maybe that's more than enough. Next finger. I'm open to accepting myself and to taking small steps forward. Okay, place the hands on the heart, take a deep breath. Okay. So again, take a note of anything that came up for you around that. Any energy, the movement, any emotions, any awarenesses, aha moments. We call those cognitive shifts in EFT. So it's when something shifts in our awareness, we become aware on a new level. It's like an expansion, and it's sort of an expansion of the consciousness of what might be possible and understanding ourselves. We see something we couldn't see before. This is like amazing, really, big stuff in supporting us for healing, changing our life, moving forwards, being kind to ourselves. Okay, so I wish you well with the challenge that you've been tapping on today, and I'm sure that this tapping would have moved something for you, and you can keep tapping. You can keep tapping on this whenever this procrastination behavior comes up. You can revisit this as often as you need to until you feel like you've overcome the procrastination behavior or challenge. But remember, be really kind to yourself. That part of you is coming up for a reason. So it's just about being curious, not making it wrong, not shaming yourself or saying should, but actually softening your body, taking some nice deep breaths. You can use those breath exercises we did together at the start, grounding yourself. You can use the visualization that we did as well. And with that softening, just seeing what else might be there. Can you be kind to that part of you that wants to stay comfortable, wants to keep you safe, wants to keep you small, or whatever your pattern and awareness was today? Well done on doing this session. Well done on doing the exploration. So in the coming sort of hours, the rest of the day or days, you might notice more shifts. So be aware of that. It is connected. And also if those sort of movements happen and emotions come up and you might be like, where's that come from? Don't make it wrong. Remember, emotions are just energy. Take nice deep breaths and soften the body. Just let it move through like the electrical current as much as you can. That's going to be a game changer if you can keep doing that. And also hydrate. So we've done a lot of healing in this work today. So make sure you drink lots of water, keep yourself nicely hydrated. Rest if you need to, listen to the body, and be really kind to yourself as much as you can. Okay, thank you so much for joining. It was an absolute pleasure as always, and I'll be back soon with another Qigong and another EFT session. Thank you. Do share your feedback. We'd love to hear how you found it today. Thanks.